Welcome.
I'm Tim. Patricia.
Welcome to STADA. I'm the CEO and the founder. Yes, and it's lovely to host you and to meet you.
How many employees?
So we have 26 permanent, and then we have a couple in the field that are not permanent.
Okay.
And we have a mean age of 24. Yeah, so they meet here 3 times a week, our teen moms groups. So they are quite a number that are not here today. But they come here twice a week and we do a couple of activities, including the heart center. So they run that social enterprise. So they're the ones doing the sewing and everything that happens there. Some of them, not all of them. So we get to do them there.
What's it made from?
I think. And then we have high knit. This is the bottommost layer. So we started off with 2 sewing machines, but with the money we made over the months we were using visible sanitary towels, we were able to add more sewing machines. Yeah. And we're in the process of purchasing 3 more machines.
Tim has decided to be part of the supply chain.
Part of the manufacturing
I
process.
love it. I love
Put
it.
this slide on? Okay.
So you just go with the button.
Maybe we can take turns. I don't know how fast I am. Pretty steady hand there, Tim.
I don't know. I don't know how you do the turns. That's why
I know. Keep it taut. So,
If he ruins it, you have to pay for the material?
yeah. Okay. Sorry to block you. Nice.
Wow.
You got the turns
It's
happening?
not easy, huh?
I feel like Paul should probably have
I'm very happy in my current role.
the commenting on Tim's cutting.
I'm supervising. I'm not doing very good.
We have buttons.
So this is fleece with
Fleece, direct, maybe PVC, and fine hooks. That's the press-on buttons.
yes,
Then after the buttoning is the brain of stitch, they are packed into packets that have pieces of like plus a storage bag. And this bag is very good. They already sell it's not stay for the rest. One packet costs 600.
and so this will be hand washed.
Ordinary soap.
And do customers advise to wash their clothes? I was just gonna say.
You sell them in bulk? I mean, you sell, what's that?
Yeah.
Of STADA. STADA was founded in the year 2020 against a lot of violation of human rights, especially around sex. So there's a lot of sex for pads in this community, and a lot of girls miss school. So there is the transactional sex. So there's transactional sex for sanitary towels. We have a spike in teen pregnancies and all that, and that is how we started. So when we started, this used to be a pickup center. The project was birthed out of the necessity that existed in our community, but also in the spirit of environmental friendliness and trying to bring a solution that in the long run will not impact the environment negatively. And so that is how we began. So I want us to talk a little bit of numbers in terms of what that has managed to translate to. And I'll let Lydia just take you through what is our contribution to waste reduction in a year. So a used pad is approximately 15 grams. We have managed to get to a system where we can distribute 600 pads, packets of pads every month. And so we still don't have a lot of end user purchases, but we talk to different partners and they are able to purchase from us. And currently we are doing 600 packets every month. And so we will just do a brief of that month. So in a month, in a day, sorry, a woman uses approximately 4 pads, right? The length of the menstrual period could end up to around 5 days. So we are using an average of 5. So that means for every month, one woman uses 20 sanitary towels. And so these 20 sanitary towels then in a year comes to 240 sanitary towels for every woman. So then that times the number of women that we target.
We give you.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Yes, so I can let Lydia to proceed from there.
So the number of girls that we give our reusable sanitary towels are 600 per month. So that is 240 times 600. That is 144,000. So this is per year. So this means that when we calculate this
144,000
times 15 grams, that every pad weighs, it sums up to
2,160,000.
160,000. This accumulative, it sums up to 2.16 tons of waste.
Yeah, so that's the waste reduction that we are looking at. In terms of affordability, we will just do the same math. So that is just for 600 women in 1 month. I'll then take you through the impact over the last 1 year that we have been implementing the reusable sanitary towels. So on the affordability, we still use the 5 days, 4 pads per day. That's 20 pads a month, right? So that's 2.5 packets. So 2.5 packets go for 150 shillings. And so if we times that by 12, we find that every woman uses 1,800 shillings on pads for an entire year. So if we calculate that by the 600 women that we have given sanitary towels in just 1 month, then that equals to 1,080,000 shillings. So one reusable sanitary towel goes for 600 shillings, distributed to 600 women, that is 360,000. So minus the 1,080,000 shillings, that brings it to 720,000 saved. Yes. And so our impact over the last 1 year, so we've had 6,200 pads distributed over the last 1 year. And that translates to 22.32 tons in terms of waste reduced and 7.44 million shillings saved. So that's our impact. Thank you. That's our impact today. And so I don't want these numbers to just be sort of just placed over there. And so I'll introduce Vera, our M&D person, to just give you a social impact. And then we will hear from 2 of our beneficiaries of the pad, and then we will go to a brief section on the business model, and then we'll be done.
Okay, good afternoon. So I'll give you a brief on the impact, rather the survey that we conducted ever since we started producing the reusable sanitary towels. So we covered different parameters in terms of the usage, in terms of the attendance in school and performance. We also did something on cost, the accessibility, the knowledge on the usage of these towels, and also the misconceptions on absorption and the social myths that are surrounding the reusable sanitary towels. And we also looked at the design on what we could improve, and also the recommendations from the beneficiaries. So in terms of usage, the survey that we conducted was over for a period of a year, and up to now, we've realized that the highest girl who has used the sanitary towels has been using them for 11 months. That is as per last month. And then we also came to realize that 27.8% of the participants in our study had used the pads for 11 months, with the least being 3 months. Next, we looked at the school attendance. In this point, we wanted to check, since these girls were given these sanitary towels, have they been missing school or have they been going to school? So we came to realize that 71% of the respondents agreed that they never missed school ever since they received the sanitary towels, while 29.05%, because of one or two more reasons, had missed school while using the sanitary towels. And then we also looked at the academic performance, and we're now assessing these girls who were given the pads, how are they performing in school? And then we realized that 66.67% of these girls in school have registered an increased academic performance, because like the days that they're not going to school have been reduced. So it's a plus on their side due to increased performance. And 23% of these girls, like they registered not a lower performance in school, but something that they can really work on with time. So under the assessment of the performance in school, we wanted to look at like what can these girls show to like propel the increase in performance. So the first thing that we came to realize that after giving them these towels, they can now fully attend classes. Their mean score has improved. Their confidence in class has been boosted, because you know when a girl undergoes menstruation and then there's leakage, it goes down with their confidence. But after this, their confidence has increased. And then the girls rarely worry about menstruation as they're in school. And like Patricia said, it's an aspect of saving money. Looking at the assessment of course like presented here, we came to realize that these pads are like affordable, because like you can see like in a year a girl can spend 1,800, but for these ones they only spend 600 shillings and they can use it for it. And then on the easier side in schools we give the girls the sanitary towels, so it's an aspect of cost saving. And then we looked at the accessibility to these reusable sanitary towels. In our region, we're the only ones producing the towels. So the girls disagreed that the pads were accessible, because when you look at the demand versus supply, you realize that the demand is so high, but the supply is so low. So there's need to increase the accessibility to these sanitary towels. Then looking at the knowledge, because before we give the girl the pad, we have to teach her on how to use the sanitary towel. And the girls agreed that they know how to use the sanitary towels. And an additional reason is that we usually conduct health and hygiene education in schools. So while you go to do the talks, we also teach the girls on how to use the towels. So in this case, we realized that 28.57% of the girls agreed that they know how to use the sanitary towels, while on the lower side we had 9.52% who agreed that they don't know how to use it. But this one was a rating question, so that those who strongly agreed, those who were neutral, and also those who disagreed. And then we had the misconception about menstrual blood. It's evident that some of the girls fear using the towels because they fear touching the menstrual blood. But in this case, the girls strongly agreed that in as much as they touch the blood, then they can still use the sanitary towels. So that misconception, it also gives us a chance to like delve into it much deeper and also research about it. But 33.3% of the girls agreed that in as much as they wash the blood, they can still use the sanitary towels. And then we looked at the absorption. From the other end, we saw them using the baby PVC to prevent leakage when they are on with the pads. And we realized that 57.14% of the girls strongly agreed that the reusable sanitary towels that we are making easily absorb menstrual blood. So there is no fear of leakage when using the sanitary towels. And then we looked at the general design of these sanitary towels, to which the ladies agreed that it's a good idea, since it can easily stick onto the panties and now make them a little bit more comfortable. And then looking at the recommendations, we had quite a number. The first one being, these girls wanted these sanitary towels to be increased in terms of production. And 61.9% agreed that there's need to distribute more sanitary towels for them in the community. And then they also wanted an improvement in terms of color. You realize that most of them are red, so they wanted like much more maybe appealing colors, and also the textures, and also the size. And then the girls also requested if they could be provided with panty liners. Remember, like as girls, not everyone has a heavy flow. There are those who have like lighter menstrual flow. So they are requesting if they can be provided with panty liners alongside the sanitary towels. And then they also wanted more talks and sensitization on the use of the reusable sanitary towels. So up to there we came to a conclusion that there's indeed a gap, and therefore we need to like push our production so that all the needs in the community concerning the reusable sanitary towels are met. Up to there, I think I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vera.
Fishery. My experience with the reusable sanitary towels is that they are healthy to our body and our skin, since there are no chemicals in them that causes irritation, dryness, and also increase our menstrual. Our menstrual cramps. And secondly, they are comfortable, and since they don't leak, we are free to move with them all around. And I don't have, it is environmental friendly, since I don't have to dispose them all the time.
Thank you so much, Donella.
First, I can say it saves some cost compared to the sanitary towels, which are quite expensive if you calculate how much you can use per year. Second, they are healthy compared to the other disposable sanitary towels, since they are not manufactured with chemicals. They are just, and they are simple. They are easy to use, and anybody can understand this. And they don't leak like the other. Even if you have a heavy flow, you can use it longer. Yeah, that's what I think.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amani. Thank you so much. Yes. No,
This one is just.
You think I would have learned by now? It's
and finally coming.
Now we need a picture together.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay.
Oh, I like this one.